Picture this. The year is 1215, and England is in the throes of political unrest. The realm is under the rule of King John, a monarch whose reign is marked by controversy and conflict. His decisions, often seen as arbitrary and self-serving, have sparked resentment among his subjects. One of the most contentious issues is his heavy-handed approach to taxation. In order to fund his wars on the continent, King John imposes exorbitant taxes without the consent of the barons, the land-owning elite of England. This abuse of power does not sit well with the barons. Their discontent grows into a full-blown rebellion, shaking the very foundations of the English monarchy. The country teeters on the brink of a civil war, with the barons demanding a charter that limits the king's power. In the midst of chaos and rebellion, the stage was set for a historic event that would forever change the course of human rights and democracy. As tensions escalated, the rebel barons saw an opportunity to challenge the king's absolute power. And so began a series of events that would lead to one of the most significant milestones in the history of human rights, the creation and signing of the Magna Carta. In the early 13th century, England was a volatile place. King John ruled with an iron fist, his power unchecked and unchallenged. However, a group of rebel barons, tired of the king's oppressive rule, decided to take a stand. They seized the city of London, a bold move that sent shockwaves through the kingdom. This wasn't a mere show of force. It was a declaration of war against the king's tyranny. With London in their control, the barons had a bargaining chip. They demanded King John enter into negotiations, and he, recognizing the precariousness of his position, agreed. The stage was set for a meeting that would change the course of history. The meeting took place at Runnymede, a meadow by the River Thames, in June of 1215. It was here that the barons presented their demands, a list of 63 clauses that aimed to limit the king's powers and protect their rights. This document was the Magna Carta, which translates to the Great Charter. Its drafting was anything but simple. It was a tug of war, a battle of wills, with the barons on one side and the king on the other. Each clause was debated, argued, and finally agreed upon. The Magna Carta was a revolutionary document for its time. It established the principle that everyone, including the king, was subject to the law. It protected the rights of individuals, upheld the freedom of the church, and ensured fair and just treatment of all, regardless of their status. And so, under the pressure of rebellion, King John had no choice but to affix his royal seal to the Magna Carta. He may not have realized it then, but that act marked the beginning of a new era, an era where the rights of individuals began to take precedence over the absolute power of the monarchy. With the signing of the Magna Carta, a new chapter began in the history of human rights. This revolutionary document, signed by King John of England in the year 1215, proved to be a turning point not only for England, but for the world. The Magna Carta marked the first time a monarch's power was effectively checked by written law. Prior to this, the monarchy enjoyed absolute authority, but the Magna Carta put a stop to that. It declared that even the king was not above the law, a concept that was groundbreaking at the time. This set a precedent of limiting the power of the monarchy, a practice that would become common in future democratic societies. But the Magna Carta did more than just limit the power of the monarchy. It also established the rule of law. No longer could laws be made or changed at the whims of the monarch. Instead, laws became a constant, something that the people could rely on. This was a significant step towards creating a fair and just society, where everyone is subject to the same laws, regardless of their status or wealth. Moreover, the Magna Carta laid the groundwork for constitutional law, serving as a template for future constitutions. It demonstrated the importance of having a constitution, a set of fundamental principles or established precedents according to which a state is governed. Its influence can be seen in many of the world's most important documents, including the United States Constitution. Elements of the Magna Carta, like the right to a fair trial and protection from arbitrary punishment, are echoed in the Bill of Rights. The Magna Carta's influence stretches across centuries and continents, shaping the democratic principles and human rights we hold dear today. It serves as a constant reminder that power should never be absolute, and that every individual has inherent rights that must be respected. In the grand scheme of history, the Magna Carta stands as a beacon of liberty, reminding us of our inherent rights and the power of the people to challenge absolute authority.